Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another series I'll be doing. I'm going to call it Free Lunch, America and Adam Smith. It's based on the book that just came out that I showed it to you. And I was very impressed with this book, and I would like to share a summary of each chapter to everybody else interested in the subject matter. There was a recent NPR interview with the author that you can find on their website if you're interested. And I would actually urge all of you to buy it if this is something that is important to you. So let's go on to chapter 1 without even asking. We go to the southern coast of Oregon, where we're introduced to the three golf courses in the style of St. Andrews Course in Scotland. And Adam Smith, the economic theorist, grew up not far from here when he developed his theory of market capitalism. And the Bandon Dunes Golf Club in question was developed by Mike Kaiser, who reveals that it's a very profitable course. And this is surprising given that the U.S. has over 16,000 golf courses, and Kaiser's course is very far from any commercial center where most people live. When Kaiser bought his first 1,000 acres, his wife thought he threw away $2.4 million, but Kaiser actually only paid half the price because no one else had a plan to transform the land from a rabbit hunting place into what it is today. Bandon Dunes is a 5-hour drive from Portland, 1 hour from Coos Bay. It used to lie on land covered by timber, but the lumber company, seeking a bigger profit margin, cut more and more of them until the spotted owl became an endangered species. Under pressure from the environmental lobby, the government stepped in and allowed less logging from the national forests. This, along with new technology, reduced the need for mill workers, and Japanese companies moved in, removing blue-collar jobs until the area's timber business eventually collapsed. Over the decades, the government dammed rivers and creeks for electricity and water storage, and to mitigate for this, the government paid for hatcheries to perform what nature had done for free. Even so, the runs of Chinook and other fish dwindled, so that by 2006 there were not enough salmon to sustain a commercial fishing season. This area used to be a working family paradise, but times have gotten considerably harder. Families with children have moved, and the area has become a meth center, and it's becoming solely dependent on the golf course for sustenance. The golfers here are not who you'd expect. They arrive by private jets and junior jetliners. 5,000 corporate jets arrive annually, and it's expected to grow to 7,000. And these golfers find that Kaiser's course, like St. Andrews, has broad fairways, which appear the works of nature. And from the courses here, 2 of them are rated by Zagat as the best in America. There's no house in sight, unlike most courses, which have many mansions and condos inside. And there are no electric power lines either. Bandon Dunes is a quiet pre-industrial revolution haven. Golf started 600 years ago, when life was short, nasty, and boring. Idle men started to knock pebbles around the sand dunes near Edinburgh Castle, aiming to drop them into natural holes. The game became so addictive that millions of officers started to miss drills to play the game, so much so that King James II banned the game as a threat to national security. Kaiser essentially created a time machine. The noise and the look of the industrial world is forgotten for the time one spends on the green, so that one might actually imagine to encounter Adam Smith around the corner. Adam Smith showed us that the pursuit of self-interest promotes general welfare to a greater extent than individual charity. Individual enterprise, guided by the invisible hand, unintentionally benefits mankind, according to his theory. He also wrote that the eagerness of business owners to make even more profits by thwarting the invisible hand, and warned that unchecked self-interest, especially when aided by the government, will spoil the benefits of capitalism. He wrote, "People of the same trade seldom meet together, even for merriment and diversion. but the conversation ends in a conspiracy against the public or in some contrivance to raise prices, said Smith in an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations. Most people who recall him today ignore his insight, stating that, quote, though the law cannot hinder people of the same trade, it ought to do nothing to facilitate such assemblies, much less render them necessary. These warnings seem to have never reached America's presidents, governors, or cabinet members, who regularly attend annual meetings of the National Association of Manufacturers, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, or conventions of bankers, farmers, or other trade groups. And Smith warned of the damage done when government interferes in the market to guarantee profits or hands out gifts, and this ultimately damages, so much so that the damages exceed those caused when the government taxes unwisely or imposes rules that needlessly obstruct commerce. Today, subsidies are available from the government to countless corporations. Most of them are given only to corporations or people who are rich enough to own a substantial business, but they're actually financed at public expense. Lobbyists fashion them for the companies they represent. State legislatures and city councils deliver them by the tens of billions of dollars every year, taking from many to benefit the few. Even when not spending money, the government confers benefits on the few by establishing arcane rules to create an advantage in the competitive market. The government also grants a favor for the few when it allows companies to shortchange workers and pensioners. As well-paying jobs like those in the timber or salmon industries in Oregon fade away, the demand for subsidies grows, believing that this will keep people working. Some of them are there for the taking. Mike Kaiser knows this. He benefits from four of them, and they total more each year than Kaiser's entire payroll of 325 workers, including the fringe benefits he pays out. Beneath the beautiful course at Bandon Dunes, there's an ugly truth. The economic developments here are illusory. From the perspective of a depressed community, the golf course is a win-win. It provides needed jobs and makes Kaiser rich. But from a national perspective, these jobs are a drag on the American economy because they cost more than they're worth. Even if you never visit the golf course, you help pay for the cost of those who do. Many are far richer than you'll ever be, and they hardly need your tax dollars to help them. If these subsidies were unique, they'd be inconsequential. But the reality is that for the past 25 years, policies adopted in the name of Adam Smith have weakened the invisible hand and stuffed the pockets of the rich and powerful. This is our story, not of one free lunch, but of many banquets where millions and millions are served to the richest among us.